So, I know I talked about this in my Halloween Horror Nights video, but I thought it'd be kind of a neat idea to talk about this in its own separate video. Just give it a little more like room to breathe, and also kind of further expand on it. And that is talking about my idea for a Halloween Horror Nights icon. Yeah, I don't know what I'll title this. Probably like make your own. What would you make a Halloween Horror Nights icon or something like that? We'll see. We'll see how this all plays out. Anyway, so yeah. Now again, if you watch the Halloween Horror Nights video where I talked about my pitch for HHN, I talked about a character by the name of my idea for an icon that year is this character by the name of Ezekiel Kane. Now, Ezekiel Kane is actually connected to a proper character in the universe of Halloween Horror Nights, and that character is Albert Kane, aka the Caretaker. Now, Ezekiel Kane is Albert Kane's grandfather, where instead of like being a mortician or anything, he was actually a psychiatrist working at a mental institution, not Shady Oaks. If you know your Halloween Horror Nights lore, that's the asylum that Jack and Chance were kept at. And basically, Ezekiel Kane was a brilliant psychiatrist as well as engineer, and there's a reason for that. Now, Ezekiel, Dr. Kane, what he specialized in and what his dream was that dreams, like accessing, the power of dreams and accessing, worlds beyond our imagination. It's basically what Ezekiel thought was that the mind holds access to a higher level of worlds. Like the worlds we see when we dream are like another gateway to another reality. It's a reality that we can become. What he basically claims is we can become actual gods, and that's his whole thing. Is that he wants to expand this mindscape and find like a level of God. Give humanity the chance to transcend into literal godhood, and that's his whole like shtick. Is that he wants mankind to be gods through the dreamscape. And that's really it. Like, that's really all he really wants at the end of the day is, like, an ascension into godhood. I think I said that, like, 3 times. I'm sorry. So in order to do this, Ezekiel Kane worked in secret to construct a machine that would allow him to physically enter the dreamscape and explore it. And in order to do this, he had to use very unique minds, and also get help from other unique minds who also studied like dreams and whatnot, and their connection to the supernatural. One of those people that he consulted with was Dr. Mariagana, who, if you know your HHN lore, that was Bloody Mary. So I thought that'd be a cool connection. Basically, Ezekiel consulted with Mariagana ages ago in order to help construct the machine. Now, as for those unique minds I was talking about that Ezekiel so desperately wanted to have it and use to enter the dreamscape, because he basically, that was one of the reasons why he wanted to work in an asylum, is because his belief is that the more insane a person is, the higher level of connection to the dreamscape you have. So that's why he was working at this mental asylum, was to pick out and like study the most deranged of the deranged, because the higher the psychosis, the bigger and stronger the psychosis, the more connection he had to exploring the dream realm. One of those patients was Jack Schmidt, the man who would become Jack the Clown later on. He also experimented on Chance as well. Well, not Chance, like his brother, Jack's brother Eddie, sorry. But of course, as you can imagine, the patients didn't really like the idea of having their minds pulled apart, because after these experiments they would be like in a vegetative state, And Ezekiel's whole thing was like, oh, they became so hostile, I had to lobotomize them. So they'd just be, their bodies would be just vegetables by the end of it, except for Jack and Eddie, who were crazy enough to survive the process. Though it is believed that maybe through Ezekiel's experiments, there could have been a reason as to why, that could be a reason why they became as as supernatural powerful as they did. Anyway, so of course the asylum, it went the whole project went sideways, and the inmates took over the asylum literally and went after Dr. Kane. Kane was then assaulted and attacked by the inmates and thrown into his own machine, where he was trapped in the dreamscape. So after decades and decades of being trapped in this dreamscape where reality can be changed on a whim, Ezekiel himself began to twist and morph. He was starting to, mold and transform into something beyond human. And what he became was the Dream Lord. And as the Dream Lord, he slowly began to gain power to open up the doorway back to our world. And once he did, he also brought an army of nightmares with him. And that is the story for Ezekiel Kane, the Dream Lord. Yeah, there you go, guys. That's my idea for a original Halloween Horror Nights character. Hope you all enjoy this, and you guys tell me in the comments below if you could make a Halloween Horror Nights character. Please let me know in the comments below what you guys would do. What would their powers be? What would they, represent? What would the origin be? All that good stuff. Just comment below, let me know. Other than that, hope you all enjoyed this. I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in the Multiverse.